Hand grenades bought separately would only cost 100 krona, or about $9.
Only $9 to buy a grenade. What? That's like in British pounds sterling. That is about £6, £7. Yo, oh my god, that is so cheap. Yes, my peoples, it is I, the one and only Woabah. Welcome back to another video. Today's a bit different because, as you guys can tell and see by the title and by the thumbnail, we have got something that I don't usually do, but one of you guys have commented, and I'll put them on the screen right now, to react to a little documentary called The Druglord Who Has Turned Sweden Upside Down. Now, if you guys know, I've reacted to a lot of Swedish music, a lot of rap, a lot of drill, pop music even. Now, over the last 2 years, I've been interested in what's going on because I get a lot of DMs and I get a lot of comments telling me, the situation in Sweden. I've got some intel from people inside, and I've always wondered what is actually going on in Sweden. And you guys have told me like the basics and I've read about it. Big up to all my Swedish supporters that show me love from the very beginning till now. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Det är den enda Woabah, brorsan, mi fucking brother, älskar dig alla. I know kind of some of the basics, I know about like the certain gangs and stuff, but this video hopefully will explain everything to us, and I hope you guys enjoy this. And if you do, let me know if I should do more videos like this where I just react to documentaries or little clips of films or even just other stuff. Do you get me? So yeah, shout out to Holland Crime Boulevard, the channel that has created this. I even contacted them and asked them if I could get permission to use it in my video, and they were fine with it. They said go ahead. Big up to them. I see the Kurdish fox, that's what they foxtrot. Let's get into this, people. Druglord Who Has Turned Sweden Upside Down. Let's go, man.
Sweden is one of Europe's wealthiest nations and was one of Europe's most peaceful nations. I emphasize was because times have changed drastically.
Mad.
As of late, Sweden has fallen to an unprecedented wave of violence.
And this is what I was saying. If you guys have seen my other videos, and I'm sorry to pause, I know there's some people out here that are going to be annoyed, but I need to express myself. I went to Sweden back in 2016, and I've been to Sweden a lot of times. But when you guys tell me like everything has changed and there's gun violence and everything, I get a bit confused because I used to think Sweden was a very peaceful country. There were no issues when I was there. So yeah, he's talking facts.
Over the entirety of 2022, there were 391
391 shootings. And look, this is from 2017 to 2022. And what did I just say? I went to Sweden last time 2016. So when Woabah left, that's when the gangs started shooting. You get me? But when I'm there, there's peace. But when I'm not there, it's violence. So I might have to go to Sweden and just peace it out with everyone. You get me? I'll probably get shot, bruv, if I go.
One shootings recorded. In 2023,
that's crazy.
Was not any different.
391.
The month of September 2023 alone saw 11 people become the victim of a fatal shooting.
Mad.
Sweden's Prime Minister has asked the military to step in as he is seeing no other option to bring back peace to his country. The cause of this all?
Yeah.
Feuds between gangs battling for turf to sell their product on. And these aren't your usual gangs of men. These gangs recruit young boys in their teens, some as young as 13 years old, to carry out hits and grenade attacks.
Yeah.
One man in particular has a strong hand in what is happening in Sweden right now, making him one of the most wanted men in Sweden. This is the story of Rawa Majid, also known as the Kurdish fox.
Rawa Majid, they were telling me about my man here, man. And also, just to say, the grenade things is so true, because I've been sent videos, I've seen people throw grenade in apartments. I can't lie. And I just think to myself, like in UK, you can never get away with that. Like, maybe you could, but you're going to get caught like that. I think the problem in Sweden, and the sentences is not that high. Yeah.
Rawa Majid was born on the 12th of July 1986 in Iran to Iraqi parents. His parents fled as the Iran-Iraqi feud was getting heated. At just a few months old, Rawa arrived in a city named Uppsala.
Uppsala, I know about Uppsala.
Uppsala is a smaller city about 70 kilometers from Stockholm, the capital of Sweden.
So they went into Sweden in the early 90s. Okay. It was pretty safe them times, right? I guess immigration probably happened in the 90s, 2000s. I know that's when, you get that's why you get a lot of Somalis, Iraqis, and other people just, in Sweden. And the same in other Scandinavian countries as well, and in UK as well. Big immigration burst into Europe during that time.
Despite his father slowly disappearing out of the picture, Rawa did well in school as a kid. In secondary school, he excelled in classes that had anything to do with business.
Business
After finishing his
mindset.
secondary school, he had his own kiosks in Uppsala where he sold food,
Fair enough.
phone cards, and gold.
Fair enough.
However, his career in crime did not start long after. In 2010, he was sentenced to 8 years and 6 months in prison for several drug offences.
Crazy.
This included handling coke he imported from the Netherlands.
Damn.
In February 2015, he was allowed early release on parole. He
Okay.
bought his own ice cream parlour in Uppsala, which was a good business move.
Fair enough.
Not because there were long lines outside the shop, but because he would go on to use it for money laundering.
Yeah, fair
Rawa's
enough. I knew
freedom
it.
was short-lived though. Just 3 months after his release, he violated his probation rules and was jailed once more. In 2018, he was released again, but he had to obey strict rules and was forbidden to leave Sweden. However, shortly after finishing his sentence, Rawa's cousin was removed off the playing field, and he realized that he could very well be next.
Rawa's cousin got shot by probably another gang member, I don't know.
This led to Rawa being granted permission to leave Sweden despite being under surveillance and on probation. He was allowed to travel to his parents' birth country, Iraq, and eventually registered himself in the birthplace of his mother named Sulaymaniyah,
Okay,
a city in the east of the Kurdistan region of Iraq.
Okay, yeah. Chorny Bershi. Big up, I know some Kurdish.
Said that right from his release, Rawa picked up where he left off and started smuggling and selling narcotics again. He had emerged as the top drug smuggler of Sweden after police were able to hack into the encrypted messaging database he used. Prior
Mad.
to this hack, Swedish police were unaware of how big Rawa really was in the Swedish smuggling world. But how did he operate?
Yeah.
Well, by now, Rawa Majid is better known as the Kurdish Fox,
Foxtrot.
leader of the Foxtrot gang.
Yeah.
The core members of the gang are said to consist of Rawa's family members as well as close friends he has known for years. All combined, those are about 10 people, aged between 25 and 35 years old. The core members can be identified by their golden fox rings. and
Okay, that's why 50 was wearing a fox ring, because he's allegedly part of that gang, right?
chains they wear. The Foxtrot gang mainly focuses on bringing in large shipments of drugs into Sweden to then sell them on to other gangs. They are also notorious because they do not shy away from using excessive violence. PGP messages have further revealed that at least since 2020, Majid was in total control of the Foxtrot gang and its business. He was in charge of the couriers that transported the drugs, the foot soldiers, and the people that guarded the stash houses. The hacked PGP messages led Swedish police to intensify their investigations into Rawa. After a year of investigations, they managed to locate him in Iraq. Together with Iraqi police, they set up an operation and raided the house Rawa was supposed to stay in November 2021.
Okay.
But unfortunately for them, he had just fled, and all they found was a bunch of mobile phones. The Fox was gone.
The fox was,
It was immediately
gone, bro.
speculated that Rawa had the right contacts in Iraq, and that he was warned prior to the raid that he had to move. Right after this raid, Rawa relocated to Turkey.
Okay, the
It
borders, the
remained
borders.
quiet around him for just a few months, but then, in March 2022, his name would pop up again. This time in relation to a feud between his Foxtrot gang and the Bandidos, another gang in Sweden.
Bandidos, this is the first time I'm hearing Bandidos, guys. I'll be real, I've heard about Foxtrot, I've heard about the Rinkeby, the Death Patrol, and Shotters, and even the Woabah network as well. I've heard about that, but first time hearing Bandidos, it sounds like a Spanish gang. It's a Spanish name, Bandidos, it means the bandits, I'm pretty sure.
Reason for the feud? 2 large shipments of drugs that were seized by Swedish police on February 11th
Damn.
and 14th.
Look at that,
This
man.
feud would go on to have serious consequences.
That's a lot of shipment missing. You can understand how the people would be going mad. Yeah, because the drug game, there are so many people involved. If something goes wrong like that, where the shipment is gone, there is a lot of questions to be asked. You know, snitches. You know, how did the police know? You know, you get me? And they pay police as well, people. The world is corrupt. Don't get it twisted, man. You have good cops, but you have bad cops. Just imagine if you're a police officer and someone comes to you and offers you just like 10,000, 20,000, just let this shipment go past. You get me? You don't need to look at it. You pretend like you don't know. It's not going to be serious consequences. The police come to you and ask, why did you let this in? You say you simply didn't know. Didn't know what it was. It looked like a normal, because they don't obviously just transport bait. They hide it in like food packages or stuff like that.
Just 2 weeks after the seized shipments, the Bandidos clubhouse was shot at. Nonetheless, this was nothing compared to what was about to come.
That's
It
brazy.
would
They
go
started
tit
the
for
war.
tat, with
Yeah.
some of the most notable actions being that of the 4th of March, where an innocent barber was removed off the playing field.
Yeah, that's peak.
The man drove in his white Mercedes near the Bandidos clubhouse as 17-year-old Peter Hassan Hagi stopped next to him and riddled him with bullets.
Damn.
Police suspected the victim to be innocent, though they think the hit was aimed at someone of the Bandidos who also drove a white Mercedes.
Oh, don't tell me they hit the wrong person. Mistaken identity is the worst thing anyone could do, man. Like,
Interesting to note is that the vast majority of those involved in these gang crimes come from migration backgrounds.
yeah.
A report that was made in 2022 claimed that 85% of the suspects involved in the fatal shootings and other attacks were either born outside of Sweden or had at least one foreign-born parent.
It's migration, man. I can't lie, it's good and bad. I mean, I don't know why like your parents escaped war for you to have a better life. On the topic of that 85%. Were either born abroad or had at least one foreign-born parent. I mean, it is true. I know Sweden's got quite a lot of migrants, and as we can see from the rappers, and it's not to say migrants are bad, because I know a lot of immigrants, so-called, that have escaped their original country because their original country were having issues. Probably because the colonizers that colonized, the Iraqis, you know, they had a war. Obviously, there was a big, like, regime, you know, with Saddam Hussein, dictator and all of that, and you know he was trying to make his country good, but going war with Iran and Kuwait, and obviously America came in 2003. They invaded them. That was unlawful, uncalled for. The idea of WMD, weapons of mass destruction, is fake. There's a lot of good immigrants out there. Unfortunately, with every good tree you might have some bad apples, and unfortunately I believe this guy Rawa Majid just happened to be that bad apple. And it just affects, I mean, look at this. Last year, a record of 62 fatal shootings and 391 shootings. That is insane. That is ridiculous. Your parents have escaped war. For you to just live a normal life, just get a job. But for some people, they want more. They want more, you know. They see the opportunity. They understand the system. I think Sweden's system is not the greatest. You know, in UK, they're very strict. You cannot be operating like that. You are going to get put in prison for a long time. I think in Sweden, somebody told me someone got a murder charge, only got 3 years or some shit like that. I mean, what the hell? What's that? Like, look at the UK rappers that have, for example, suspect that got convicted. Life in prison, man. I don't think in a murder in Sweden is life in prison. Unless I might be wrong. Correct me on that.
2 weeks after this hit, Rawa ordered his troops to get ready for new actions against the Bandidos. And so they did. On the 28th of March, a young man can be seen running into a gym and downwards onto the staircase. It's evident that he came with a mission.
Damn.
Let's look at the video.
Yeah, this is brazy. This documentary is well put together. Big up to Holland Crime. He comes in. Oh shit. Oh shit. Raw. Man, just go down. What is this? A jewelry store? What is this? Like these two. Shots are fired. Doof, doof. Damn. Out in public. Raw. Well, man's just got the gun. Bro. What, are these guys customers? Or are they working with him? Man just came in with a mask. Sean, no shit's given. There's people about, broad daylight. These guys, they don't really care about the consequences. Like, I think they'd rather go to prison than maybe their family buried underground. Do you get me? I think this is the reality of stuff. They probably get coerced, convinced to do this kind of stuff. Tit for tat, man. They don't really know who they actually fighting for. I've always found it a bit stupid. Gang territory and all of that. But until when you're in it, man, it's easier said than done. You get me? You always realize it's not worth it. It's just not worth it. I mean, look at this. Look at this. And it never stops. It never ever stops. You shoot someone, that person's going to come back to you again.
Downstairs into the gym area. Here is where he struck someone, and you can see bystanders running up the stairs in total panic.
Yeah, they're
Shortly
gone, bro.
after, the shooter also ran up the stairs again.
Yeah.
He even tried to escape through the wrong door before someone guided him in the right direction. His mission? To remove a highly ranked Bandidos member that was also in the gym.
Damn.
The end result,
They got the drop.
he struck Frederick, a totally innocent man who did not
Oh,
survive.
this is what I'm
The
saying.
hitter was just 16 years old.
This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying, man. Mistaken identity, bruv. If you're gonna do a mission, man just came in. These 16, they're teenagers, man. They're teenagers, yeah. They are not trained. They're not trained officials like CIA and that. They're not doing it correct. Not to say I would do it correct, but bruv, how are you going in on a mission and you hit the wrong person? It's like GTA heist or mission. You hit the wrong person, or campaign. You take out the wrong guy. Come on, man. Completely just oblivious with your gun. You're just shooting anyone, man. That's just so dumb.
When he did it. While all this was happening, Rawa himself remained at bay in Turkey.
Yeah,
However,
that's
he would
what
get
he
in
do.
serious trouble himself too. In
They'll
April
probably-
2022,
they're probably
Ali
snitching.
Eren was doing his job as a gardener in the Turkish city of Marmaris
Okay,
when he
Turkey.
came across a pouch that someone had left behind.
Mm.
Upon opening it, Ali found bundles of cash stuffed inside the pouch.
Right, took a picture with it as well.
Despite making a meager salary as a gardener, Ali did not take this chance to pocket the money for himself.
True.
No. He decided to inform the police.
Oh dear.
At the station, they had counted multiple currencies with over $12,000 in total value.
Oh god.
After checking the security cameras located near the park, police managed to identify a man called Miran Otaman. They invited Miran to the police station to pick up the pouch, which Miran of course gladly did.
Yep.
He
Set
introduced
himself up.
as a shipping tycoon and left behind $400 as a reward for Ali. But police had a weird feeling about this Miran Otaman. They decided to run his ID through all their databases and discovered that this was not Miran Otaman. This was an internationally wanted man. A man that had an Interpol red notice out
Raw.
for him.
Interpol.
The man who they had in front of them was actually fugitive Rawa Majid,
Oh
not
shit.
Miran Otaman.
Yo.
After-
Interpol wanted.
After further investigation, Turkish police raided Rawa's villa, where they found unlicensed weapons, large sums of cash, and luxury items such as designer clothes, watches, and more.
Damn.
He had rented the villa with the same fake passport. During his first questioning, Rawa said that he was surprised that he got caught. I had a very high quality and well-designed fake passport. I never thought I would get arrested when I went to that police station.
You know what? Well, I guess a fake passport at the end of the day is not a real one, is it? Doesn't matter if it's high quality, well designed. I guess there's always the codes and the scans. I don't know, man. And there's a whole system behind it. No matter what.
Was this the end to his story? Was one of Sweden's most wanted criminals finally caught and ready to be extradited? Well, no. Rawa had purchased Turkish citizenship via Turkey's Golden Passport program for approximately $400,000 in 2020.
Damn smart.
Turkey has become a safe haven for criminals, as they are able to purchase citizenship by investing the aforementioned amount into real estate in the country.
Damn. So Turkey's basically saying they're welcoming criminals. Basically, they don't care because the money's come back to them. This is what I say, man. It's all corrupt, man. You see what I mean? They don't care about if the money's illegal or legal. You give them the money, they'll give you what you want. It's the reality of stuff, people.
Although Sweden, along with Interpol, has requested for his extradition, Turkish authorities have refused to do so for two reasons. Reason number one is his Turkish citizenship, and number two is because Sweden has refused to extradite people to Turkey whom Erdogan identified as terrorists.
Damn.
Rawa's
Damn.
extradition has become a political game.
Political
To make
game.
matters worse for Swedish authorities, Rawa was released by Turkish police a few weeks after his arrest and is now essentially a free man again.
What? Yeah, they don't care, man. I can't lie. He's clever, man. I gotta give it to this Rawa Majid guy. He's clever guy, man. Might have done a bit mad thing, but this is what happens when you're the boss. Basically, you're like a kingpin. Yeah.
Oh, and after all this, Ali got a reward for his honesty. Keeping the pouch might have been a better option afterwards.
Oh no. He's probably gonna get killed. He's got a hit list on him, Ali.
Jailed in Turkey, Swedish police shared an extensive police report about Rawa Majid and was jailed in Turkey. Swedish
How Rawa was jailed in... Okay.
Police shared an extensive police report about Rawa Majid and his Foxtrot gang with the aim to help Turkish intelligence prosecute Rawa. Information such as their suspected locations, pictures of them and what they are being accused of, and more evidence. It was part of Operation Yilan. The report was labelled highly confidential and was only allowed to be read by certain police officials. Little did they know was that the document was leaked back to Rawa and his associates.
Wow.
Late in 2022, they arrested a suspect of the Bridge Network, another Swedish gang. Upon further investigation, they found a silver iPhone. After taking a closer look at this iPhone and going through its contents, they found the highly confidential report they had made to help Turkey.
Damn.
Someone had leaked it.
Wow.
Swedish police immediately rang the alarm and called this leak extremely serious.
Jeez.
A Swedish official suspects a Turkish government official of leaking the document.
Jeez.
They do not have any concrete evidence.
Come
yet.
on. They're trying to create a war between Sweden and Turkey now, bruv. I get surprised when the police want to mess with the gangs. That's why sometimes the best way is to just work with them. Going against them can be even harder than flipping just working with them. That's why I say it's corrupt. If you can't beat them, join them.
After all that turmoil in Turkey, Rawa and his Foxtrot gang found themselves in yet another very heated feud in late 2022.
In-house beef.
This time, it was with Mikhail Tenezos and his Darlin gang.
Darlin gang, ladies and gentlemen. If you remember Einar Bilefrid, he was part of the Darlin gang, and I think he was from there, Darlin as well. And some other artists as well, I think they're from Darlin as well.
It must be said that the feud might have already started as early as 2020. Mikhail Tanezos is a 25-year-old man, also referred to as the Greek, who, despite his young age, has allegedly managed to become a leading figure of the Darlin gang and also lived abroad for his own safety. Mikhail used to be a promising hockey player, who slowly but surely strayed away from school and hockey to hang out with his gang. Some of his former hockey teammates were surprised to hear what has become of their former teammates.
Damn.
For me, it's completely unimaginable, one of the team leaders said.
Damn.
Mikhail would have made it far if he had stuck to hockey, another leader said.
I mean, in Sweden, I think ice hockey is quite big, isn't it? I think that might be a bigger sport than football over there, I believe.
He was a guy who took matters into his own hands and trained very hard. People respected him. It was known that he hung out in the wrong circles, even as a youngster, a former teammate said. It was clear that his association with the gangs at an early age led to Mikhail moving on from hockey and focus more and more on the gang life.
The gang life, man.
Swedish crime journalists have said that the feud stems from a battle over the supply of narcotics in the city of Sundsvall.
Sundsvall.
The city of Sundsvall was long supplied by the Darlin gang. Rawa Majid's Foxtrot gang has tried to muscle themselves in on the Sundsvall market, which led to the start of the feud, as the Darlin gang was not going to let that happen.
Of course.
However, it should be noted that it is also reported that it was actually the Foxtrot gang that had control over the city of Sundsvall, and that the Darlin gang tried to force its way in.
Trying to say the Foxtrot owned Sundsvall first before Darlin. Yeah, that's why I can see the feud, because whenever it's around gang territories, you know, someone gets the idea, oh, he's moving into my area, there's problems, people. Either you're going to go chat to the leader and try and negotiate, or tell him, what's going on here, man? You better get out or there's going to be problems, and, you know, that's when the shootings happen, people.
Either way, it had become a battle for turf.
Yep.
And it definitely has not been something we have seen before in Sweden. This feud is truly ruthless.
And that's why I say, you know, it can't be a Swedish rap video without the guns. They're active over there. No wonder they got so many flipping guns.
In the first 26 days of this year, there had already been 13 bomb attacks, meaning there was one attack every 2 days. One of the most notable incidents in this feud happened on the 21st of January 2023. A video surfaced that depicted once again how reckless this feud was, as well as how far these foot soldiers went. The video shows an apparent teenager. You can hear their young voices briefly.
Oh my god, this is the video that someone sent me around that time. Yo, that is brazy.
Armed with a Kalashnikov, stand in front of a door as he takes his time to load the firearm. He aims at the door, then unleashes 15 bullets right through the door.
Yeah.
The apartment was home to the ex-girlfriend of rapper Thrife,
who
was said to be linked to the Greek. Rapper Thrife, however, was not in the apartment. His ex-girlfriend and her young child were.
Thrife,
somewhat of a wonder.
A young child.
Somewhat of a wonder, no one got hurt.
Yeah, I mean, you're just shooting at the door,
seemed to be done
though.
purely as a scare tactic, and was filmed as a sort of trophy,
I mean,
where people
filming it is just snitching themselves, surely.
used to snatch chains and other personal items of their enemies as trophies
Yep.
back in the day.
Yeah.
This younger generation films their actions to show the world their ruthlessness. As if things weren't already bad enough in Sweden, on September 11th, 2023, the feud claimed its youngest victims thus far. The remains of a 13-year-old boy were found in a forest in the Swedish municipality of Haninge after he had been reported missing.
Fucking hell,
The
13
young
years
boy
old.
was said to have ties to several gangs, one of which was Rawa's Foxtrot gang.
That's
It was
brazy.
another all-time low in the feud.
And I think I remember around this time, I feel like because 2023 was only last year and I've been reacting them times, I think you guys were telling me this, you know. I do think you guys were telling me this. And I appreciate it, you know. I feel like you guys trust me. I don't think you tell other reactors this shit, but come on, man. My people, them, the Woabah family, come on.
Though it must be said the victims being such young boys weren't an exception.
That's brazy, 13
Less
years
than 2
old.
months prior to this incident, the remains of Leith al-Azawi
Oi.
and Mohammed Suleiman were
Oof.
found in the Stockholm region.
Miskin.
Both
That
boys
is...
were only 14 years old. It was believed
Allah yarhamhum. May God, Allah have mercy on their souls, man.
that both boys resold weapons they had gotten from the Foxtrot
Oh, they
gang.
resold it.
When they weren't able to retrieve the weapons, the leaders of the Foxtrot gang were out to make them an example and have them whacked.
Oof.
On the 12th of September,
That's
just a
crazy.
day after they found the 13-year-old boy, another man was found.
What?
He was removed off the playing field after
Hold
they found
up.
the 13-year-old
After they found the 13-year-old...
boy.
But was that the 13-year-old boy that was found?
Another man was found.
Another man.
He was removed off the playing field in the stairwell of a building.
So...
A relative of Rawa lived in this building
Damn.
and was most likely the intended target.
Damn.
He was believed to be involved in Rawa's Foxtrot gang as someone who kept money of the gang. While Rawa's Foxtrot gang and Mikael's Darling gang were fighting in Sundsvall, they simultaneously battled for turf in Umeå, one of the fastest growing cities in Sweden.
Umeå, bro, I don't know these cities. How many Swedish cities does Sweden have, man? I thought only Stockholm is like the main city. And I know Gamlestan and to be fair, there's the Vorby, there's Aracho, there's so many Uppsala, Rinkeby, Skarpnäck. Like there's all these different, I guess, what are they, towns? All these different towns or cities. I guess Stockholm is a municipality. I haven't. This shit is confusing me, man.
In the beginning of September 2023, a Darling gang member struck a Foxtrot gang member.
Ooh.
Right after this incident, crime reporter Diamant Salihu said they use a lot of violence. Umeå's residents may see a type of violence they have never seen before. If you are a relative of those involved in this feud, you are a direct target.
Of course.
He went on to say that there are serious reasons to be worried about this escalating situation. A question that might arise for you, and which certainly did for me, was where do they get all these firearms from?
This is what I'm
according to
saying.
reports by the
This is literally what I've been saying from the beginning of my whole flipping time I was reacting to Swedish music. I'm thinking, where are you getting these guns from? But it must be like Russia or like Serbia.
Global Initiative
Somebody
Against
told me this
Transnational
before.
Organised Crime, the Rawas Foxtrot gang, as well as other Swedish criminal gangs, are supplied by Balkan arms smugglers with assault rifles,
Yes.
Serbian pistols,
Okay.
and unused stock of Yugoslav-era hand grenades.
Damn, Yugoslav era hand grenades. These hand grenades are older than all of us Yugoslav. If you know your history, Yugoslavia only existed for about 45, maybe 50 years. Yeah, USSR. Them times there. Yugoslavia was that was Serbia, Bosnia, I think Albania, Montenegro, that whole area, Yugoslavia. That's Soviet Union days, bruv. These grenades are like 30 years old, 35 years old. Flipping hell.
Organised crime groups that are mostly located in Serbia set up proxies in Sweden to receive these weapons.
Fair enough.
The firearms are dismantled into parts
Yeah.
and are then sent by road along well-travelled drug routes into
Okay,
Scandinavia,
okay.
oftentimes across the Öresund.
Öresund Bridge is a bridge that connects Sweden and Denmark, I believe. Is he going to say it?
A 16-kilometre long bridge that connects Denmark to the Swedish city of
Woabah, my knowledge, my fucking knowledge, man. I am the smartest guy here, man. Big up to my supporters, bro.
third of all illegal handguns in Greater Stockholm are Serbian Zastavas.
Wow, Serbians
Most
are
weapons
stuffers.
are shipped on order.
Yeah.
A Kalashnikov often comes with complimentary hand grenades as a
Mashallah.
sort of
Man said a Kalashnikov comes with complimentary hand grenades. It's like when you go to a restaurant and you get food. Oh, we're going to give you a complimentary glass of wine. Yep, these men are saying we're going to give you an AK-47, Kalashnikov, whatever you want to call it. And you know what? Take this grenade. It's on us as well. It's rusty as hell, never been used. I mean, look at the grenade, man. Look at it. It's corroded. It looks like an old man's brain when you open it up. All the fishes and the gyri. Look at that. Aye, it's a gift. They're very generous, I'll be real.
Gift.
Just bust it.
Hand grenades bought separately would only cost 100 krona, or about $9.
Only $9 to buy a grenade. What? That's like, in British pounds sterling, that is about £6, £7. Yo. Oh my god, that is so cheap.
Fewer than €9.
Yeah.
These firearms grenades then end up in the hands of Rawa's young soldiers and those of his enemies.
Okay.
Besides the many enemies Rawa has made in opposing gangs, trouble was also brewing in Rawa's own Foxtrot gang.
Okay.
In the past few months, his gang wasn't as tight anymore as they used to be.
That's what I'm thinking.
A conflict had arisen within the gang itself,
In-house
which
beef.
led to members turning against each other. Ismail Abdo, once a
Okay.
close confidant of Rawa and labelled as his right-hand man,
Ismail.
has allegedly turned against him after a drug deal went wrong this summer, according to the police.
Damn.
This plays a major part in why relatives have now become targets of the violence.
Yeah,
They are
fucked.
friends who have known each other for many, many years. They know where someone's relatives are. They know each other's weaknesses.
Yeah, man.
Swedish crime reporter
Yeah,
Diaman
man.
Salihu
That's
said.
so true. Yep, yep.
The split allegedly resulted in a shooting in Istanbul on the 6th of
Wow,
September.
in Istanbul.
On CCTV footage, it can be seen that two men arrive on a moped. One of them hops off and fires several shots towards 5 people.
Raw.
These 5 people in turn fired back. No one was seriously injured.
And of course, that's going to alert the Turkish police.
Immediate revenge for the shooting. The 60-year-old mother of Ismail Abdo was removed off the playing
Oh!
field just a day later.
His mum. Are you dumb? Oh my days. His mother. These guys have no remorse, yeah. I feel like as a criminal, I always have this rule where I don't hurt women and children. This guy has taken it. I've lost respect now. Man's going for a mum. She's innocent. Kill your mum. If my mum gets killed, I'm wiping out every single one of them. And I don't blame Ismail Abdo if he's gonna decide to do that, because bruv, that's messed up, man. What's the mother got to do with it, man? Allow that, man. That's fucked.
Though we've seen a lot of unprecedented
That's so
blows already,
crazy.
this is a good depiction of how ruthless Rawa and his gang were.
Very ruthless.
Not even someone's mother was safe.
Yeah.
Just 4 days later, there was another shooting. This time, it was aimed at Rawa's mother-in-law.
Bro, that's his mother-in-law. I can't lie, she's kind of sweet, you know. Yeah, I might have to watch what I say here, but it's a good thing I'm masked up. Hey.
A man repeatedly knocked on her door. However, she did not open.
Okay, she
After
knew.
a few minutes, the man shot her apartment and fled. Had she opened that door, she most likely would have not survived.
Yeah.
Then, 2 days after that shooting, a man was removed off the plane.
This is just tit for
Upon
tat.
further investigation, it was determined that the man Mogos Emanuel did not have any connection to the conflict and was at the wrong place at the wrong time. The intended target was a family member of Rawa. The split of the Foxtrot gang will most likely change the criminal landscape as new groups will form.
Yep.
And new alliances will
And
be
they're
made.
probably happening right now as we speak in Sweden somewhere. You guys, you Swedish people that are watching this, there's something going on, man. Someone is making the gangs. You getting me? Alright, people, be safe out there, yeah? Please, 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 do not join any gangs, man. I'll get a message from someone saying to me their friend has been shot. I don't want to read that, man. I don't want to hear that. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm supposed to say, bruv. I can't do anything to help you guys, but I feel, you know, this is just messed up, man. And I know it's easy. I know you guys might see the money. You're young. You might see the money. You might get tempted, but believe me, long-term money is better than short-term money. Don't get fooled into thinking 1,000 krones or 10,000 krones or 5,000. It's all evil money. It's bad money, man. You don't want to hold on to bad money, man. And this is a problem. You get deeper and deeper. You won't be able to escape that life. It's very hard to get out. I mean, look, these guys are way in too deep. As Drake said, in too deep. I'm not even trying to take the piss here. This is mad. When you say mothers are getting involved and kids are low-key being involved, then you know it's become a crazy, crazy story, a situation.
Police chef Mats Baki even went as far to say that the Foxtrot gang does not even exist anymore after the split.
Wow.
As well as that Rawa Majid is not as strong anymore as he used to be.
So basically, Ismail Abdo, that was his right-hand man. he basically, I don't know, I think he snitched or something. I don't know what he done. And then Rawa silenced his mum, and then they hit back. What's the internal? I can't lie. He didn't tell me what the internal conflict was, though. It was the Ismail Abdo thing? It's got to be more than that, surely, man.
Due to his allies leaving him, being jailed or 6 foot deep.
Damn.
As for now, to be due to his allies leaving him, being jailed or 6 foot deep. As for now, Swedish police are keeping a very close eye on the situation, hoping to gather valuable intelligence and potentially even use the tumult as an opportunity to sneak in and dismantle entire gangs, or at least arrest key figures. On the 28th of September 2023, Swedish Prime Minister Ulf Kristersson said that he had summoned the head of the military to discuss how the armed forces could help police deal with the unprecedented wave of violence that has the country in a chokehold with almost daily shootings and bombings. Getting the military involved in crime fighting is something highly unusual.
Very unusual.
It truly emphasizes how serious the problem in Sweden is.
Yeah, man.
Sweden has never seen anything like this before, Kristersson said in a televised speech to the nation.
Yeah.
No other country in Europe is seeing anything like this.
I don't think
Sweden
so,
has
man.
grappled with gang violence for years, but the outburst of shootings and bombings in September has been unheard of, and even saw 3 people passing in just 12 hours due to gang violence. With the explosion of a home in Uppsala that took the life of an innocent woman,
This is someone was telling me about this. I was shocked.
as an absolute low point.
That is
Swedish
low.
media have linked the latest surge in violence to a feud between Rawa and Abdo, and it seems like Sweden is in no way, shape or form ready to step in and end this violence. Swedish laws aren't designed for gang wars and child soldiers.
Yeah, they're not.
Kristersson
They're not
said.
designed,
It is
yeah.
also mentioned
That's
that
what it
part
is.
of the reason gun violence continues to rise in Sweden is that those involved in shootings don't care about any repercussions because the conviction rate is so low. In more than
Well, because that's why they get child soldiers. Because the crime is not as harsh for them compared to when you're above the age of like 18 or 20, I think it is. And you guys told me this because that's why they only do like 2 or 3 years. Sticky, for example, didn't he, at the time when I started reacting to him, he was only in prison for like a year and a half, and it was on a suspected murder charge or something, attempted. And I mean, what, he didn't get that many years, did he? I think other people as well, and I think he's a young guy anyway. That's why the children, they're safe. If you're 16, 15, you shoot someone, what's the worst that's gonna happen to you? 1 year in Swedish prison? And the Swedish prisons apparently are nice as well. I need to watch a documentary on that. If you guys got any good ones, tell me.
2/3 of the shootings, no one is arrested, and only 1/5 of gang-related gun homicides are solved.
Only a 5th?
So at the time of writing
Damn.
this, Sweden is left to battle a problem that only seems to get worse.
Damn.
From the ongoing shootings throughout the country, to Rawa Majid remaining at large and out of the hands of Swedish authorities, to young boys who are waiting in line to work for the gangs.
Yeah.
For now, there does not seem to be a solution that would solve all this violence.
It's crazy.
It is expected that Rawa remains hidden somewhere in Turkey, and that young boys will keep on working for the gangs at the cost of their own future. Many more videos on this topic will follow. This was just the start. If you have enjoyed this video,
Wow. People, I can't lie. First of all, I want to say shout out to Holland Crime Boulevard for making such a great video. And that was quite a very informative documentary, I'll be honest, about Rawa Majid, though also known as the Kurdish Fox, leader of the Foxtrot gang. I feel like maybe there was some information missing that my fellow people have told me. One thing I will say though, I just think like so true, because Sweden, I feel like was one of the most, they were happy taking immigrants in, and you know, the immigrants, they do the jobs that, let's say, the native Swedish people don't want to do, maybe like taking out the rubbish or making restaurants. It's one of the most immigrant friendly countries, and it's opportunities for immigrants, and to be allowed a second chance in life in Sweden, and then to reciprocate that hospitality with these type of crimes is unacceptable, man. How can that even be, with murdering a mother and murdering little kids 13 years old? That's just a slap in the face to Swedish people who want to live a good life. And it shames me, because I am from a family who was born in the UK. You know, my parents, they also had a similar life to Rawa Majid's parents, I guess. You know, they came here to the UK to live and to also have a better life. Do you get me? Education, the system, and to be out here and doing all of this, I just think it's so bad. And I understand. I've been through it, And even now, look, I'm not a rich man. I am not financially stable, not now. Inshallah, one day I will. But it's never a reason really to get yourself involved in the gang life and crime life. And I know sometimes it's hard for some people because I've seen it. Certain areas they live is really, there are some ghetto areas, and you just, you see the people making money just easy, and then you say to yourself like, what the hell? Like, it's so easy to make money in this life, in that lifestyle, but as soon as you start working for someone, you're literally their bitch. Excuse my language, but you're their dog. Anything goes wrong, it's on you. You get caught with something, they don't care what's gonna happen to them. As long as you don't snitch, that's the code of honor. That's the streets. That's the street code. You don't snitch, they'll look after you. But really and truly, they're not gonna look after you because they'll find someone to replace. Everyone's easily replaceable in the drug game and that lifestyle. And of course, unfortunately, man, that's why they use the word narco terrorism when it starts getting involved with firearms and throwing grenades in apartments and shooting up houses and mistaken identities and killing the wrong person. That's when it becomes serious like levels to it. And yeah, in the last 5 years, I mean, this shocked me really. And I am obviously interested, and I actually want to know more, but I feel like, the more I learn, it might become a problem to myself. Heck, I might even go to Sweden and film my own documentary, life and actually the deep in the streets, because I feel like I could chat to them. But I don't want to get caught in the mix. That's fucking... Do you get me, people? I'm just here to... I'm an observer, I see it. I don't agree with it. Definitely very interesting, though. It is very sad to see how a country like Sweden, that supposedly was... I mean, I've always thought Scandinavia as a whole was always safe. I mean, isn't Denmark or Norway, I think, one of the happiest countries in the world? I know they got some issues there as well. I do react to Danish rap. I think Finland also... I think Finland is okay. I don't know about them. Maybe I might have to start reacting to some Finnish music scene, and understand what's going on. But Sweden, damn, it shocked me. I mean, they haven't even spoken about, like, the link between the music scene and the Foxtrot. I mean, 50, he's allegedly... Well, I don't even need to say alleged. He's part of the Foxtrot. I think everyone knows this. He's masked up. He's got the ring. He's got all of that. They work with the Rawa, but Rawa is at the head. He's at the top, and there's a bunch of people below him. So these gang members that are just the artists and stuff, they're like the bottom of the barrel, really. I mean, they're big, but I guess they use the music scene to diss people. And that's why, like, for example, the most recent song I reacted to, Sirena Numero Uno, I think is a diss at someone. I'm not too sure. But yeah, the crazy thing is that these Swedish artists, they fuck with me. So I don't want to, like, not piss anyone off, but whatever they do outside the music, that's them, innit? I got nothing really to say. Like, they do them. I can't. They're old enough to understand the actions. I don't agree with it, but sometimes when you're in that life, you kind of just gotta do it. They kind of got no choice. I know it sounds very weird to say they got no choice, but really they kind of don't, because if they don't do it, they're gonna get killed. Or their family's going to get killed. So what other option have they got? If they go to prison, their family's getting killed. If they don't do it, you get me? And they're seen like a pussy. So it's all connected. I mean, look at the whole situation with Yasin and one cuz beefing each other, different gangs, Aina, the whole beef with that. Aina and the other guy, I forgot his name, he got killed himself on Christmas Day. I forgot his name, the guy that killed Aina. Remind me of that, people. But same thing, man. It's all tit for tat, aka you hit someone, you get hit back, and it's just a repeat. Same cycle. Same thing happened in northwest London. Same thing happens in East London, Marley Strip, everywhere. So, except the only difference is in Sweden, it's guns. In the UK, it's knives. So, it's crazy. And I'm actually so surprised, because now I just think, like, the hell if I go Sweden, like, is it really that dangerous? But clearly, certain areas I wouldn't want to be walking around. I mean, imagine if I'm walking around with a mask like this. I mean, you look at me in my eyes, I look like one of them, bruv. I'm gonna get shot. They're gonna be like, what the fuck are you doing in my area? I don't want to be a part of that. I'm just gonna sit outside. But you know what? I might take that risk just for you guys, man. We'll see, man. If you guys enjoyed this, please let me know in the comments down below. Subscribe, man. Comment down below as well if I should react to more shit like this. Like the video and everything. Big up to Holland Crime as well. I'll leave a link to the original video. But yeah, that was my take of it. I think Sweden, it does need to change. I mean, you heard they're trying to bring the military involved. I mean, the police have had enough. They can't do anything. It's got to come from within. They've got to change their laws. But it's a bit difficult to change Swedish law, I can assume, because it's been set from many, many years ago. But I love Sweden, and I love the country, the people, the culture. I had many memories when I was there, and I can't lie, it makes me a bit annoyed to see that these were caused by people who were given a second chance. You know, they come to this country, and I am shocked how it's escalated so much, man. It's crazy. It kind of reminds me of like USA hood shootings in like the community over that, but in the US it's different because guns are actually allowed, but I don't think in Sweden it's definitely not allowed. The only bad thing is about this video that they haven't mentioned is that the Swedish law in reference to children, they're not allowed to be convicted as like criminals under the age of I think it's under the age of 16. That's why 14 years old and 15-year-olds are usually always the case that I've seen as child soldiers. But how can you convict a child? But in the UK, they don't give a shit. They're sending you to juvenile detention, which is the young kids, basically. After that, you're going straight into prison when you turn 18. Do I think they should do the same in Sweden? It might help, because the problem that I'm seeing is they're just shooting because they don't care about the consequences. They'd rather do that and be respected in the eyes of the Kurdish fox and the eyes of the gang members, supposedly. Only serve a year in prison. Swedish prison isn't a shithole. I don't think it is. Not compared to the US prisons or the UK prisons. So it's calm for them, and it's smart by the gang members as well. They've really just got it under the control. I mean, they've got so many connections and the money as well, and the resources and the guns, like we've seen from getting it from the Serbian. They set out proxies. I've learned a lot in this video, people. I really have. I've learned a lot. So I don't want to talk too much because, you know, people get annoyed with me. But I am interested. I can't lie. I do want to know more about this stuff. Sweden is really taking an interest, man. I'm just stunned, more really, kind of like a stun from Call of Duty to see such a country like Sweden just turn like this in only the space of 10 years. I mean, I've reacted to Swedish old school music, rap. I think back in the day, everyone was connected and no one had an issue. All it took was for one person to get killed or something to happen, and all this whole feud thing starts. So, yeah, man. Rawa, the Kurdish fox, he's hiding. He's still hiding about and still probably doing the whole thing. There's probably maybe someone is going to get killed tonight as we speak. May God have mercy on their soul, man. And all the people that have died as well, may God have mercy on their souls, man. They didn't deserve it. Wrong place at the wrong time. Very sad. Anyways, my people. Let's stop talking. They are the end of Woabah. It has been either one and only Woabah. It's getting dark as well now. Hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Let me know what I should react to next. I'm open to anything and everything. Comment down below. Like the video. Share it with your peoples. Follow me on my socials. They're up there. Stay up to date. Check me out on Kick as well. I'll be live streaming. Follow me, kick.com/Woabah. Come check me out. I'll do live interactions with you guys. Of course, make sure you subscribe if you're not subscribed. I'm trying to hit 10,000 subscribers. So yeah, tak. Alles Gute Allah. Stay safe out there, my peoples. I can't lie, man. If you're living in Uppia or Uppsala or any of the Allahs or the Ballas or whatever, Vorbi or whatever, just be safe out there, people, man. I mean, I can't really tell you what to do. I say just stay indoors and watch Woabah from the beginning to end. That's your safest bet to do. Come on, tak. I'll see you guys in the next reaction video. Take care.